Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your man DJ FX. All right, I'm trying to see if this thing works properly, so I can start inviting. Oh, it looks like it's gonna do right. It looks like it. Let's see. Can I invite? Okay, add a viewer. Okay. All right, so I'm going to be inviting special guests. Actually, the show don't even start for another 5 minutes. Well, 7 minutes. But listen to this, y'all. Start from the beginning. Enjoy. All my yesterdays, I'm reminded of your love for me when I hear you say, today's a new day, today's a new day. Your problems may seem bigger and it feels like you can work it out, but every day that you rise, you'll realize he's planned your eyes. I know you're looking at the outside, it may not be so pretty inside. Fear and disappointment for your life. They cut your dreams like a knife. Dry the tears from your eyes. Your light still shines. Dry the tears from your eyes. Your light still shining. I know right now it might sound crazy, but trust in time it will all be beautiful. As I look to the sky, I realize pain flies away. Brand new mercies erase all my yesterdays. I'm reminded of your love for me when I hear you say, today's a new day, today's a new day. All this pain that you're holding has made you stagnant, break free from your past. So close now. Don't give up, don't give up. Good thing about time is it can't be wasted in advance. The next moment, minute, hour, day is waiting ahead. Dry the tears from your eyes. Your light still shining. Dry the tears from your eyes. Your light still shining. I know right now it might sound crazy, but trust in time it will all be beautiful. As I look in the sky, I realize pain flies away. Brand new mercies erase all my yesterdays. Oh, I got one viewer. Hello there. All right, the show is going to start in about 5 minutes. So make sure you share this, tell people about it. I know it's going to be like a little delay on it and everything, but I just want to welcome you. How's my audio? Can you hear me? Do the little, hearts and thumbs up stuff down there, or leave a comment so I know you're in here, who you are, and let's get this thing on and popping for the new year, shall we? I'm excited about it. Some changes that almost weighed us down, but with every single day, new mercies awaited and love won't let me drown. And as you can see, I'm doing some tinkering here because I haven't done this in a minute. It's been a while since I've done this. Let's shed a little bit of light on this thing, shall we? There we go. So yeah, I haven't done this in a minute, and MC Love is my baby. MC Love is my baby. So I'm going to do everything I can possibly do to make sure that this platform stays the way it is, because you guys have been asking for it. I don't always see the effects of it, but it's been affecting enough that people have been asking for MC Love to come to return. So to all my people in the West Coast, Enlightened Motorcycle Ministry out there in California, Pastor Powell, the
Anointed Horsemen right here in Maryland. The Kingdom Knights here in Maryland. All the various motorcycles and social clubs here. I'm back. So make sure you spread the word, tell the word that MC Love is back. And of course, during this pandemic is still around us. So we're just going to be doing Facebook Live. And then later on, I'll post this on my YouTube page. So you have two ways of looking at it. Going back and checking out the seasons, checking out the shows. So, having that being said, I'm going to let this play one more time. Hope you guys are enjoying it. It's something more inspirational. Something I picked up from my brother and sister last week on their show, which they do a Facebook Live also right after mine at 5 o'clock. If you don't ride, you don't know. My brothers Dawn and my sister Dawn. My sister Dawn, my brother Don, they're on right after me. And I picked this up from them. Normally, if I was at the studio, I'd be doing this, playing a little something inspirational before the show starts. But I'm no longer in the studio, so I'm doing this from home, Facebook Live, and we're going to see what happens. I'm hoping to get some viewers. Because I haven't done this in a while, so I forgot how to get the viewers to come on and look. Do I do like an invite or something? I think that's what I'm supposed to do. So let me see. I'm going to try to share this. Alright, I'm going to try to share this in the various group pages. Let's see who bites. Gotta remember how to do this stuff.
Shining on my window pane. It's a symbol of hope for broken people. We done been through some things. Doors closed in our faces. We've been through some changes that almost weighed us down. But with every single day, new mercies awaited and love won't let me drown. Floating on the river of the love. Powered by the grace to continue. Flying over storms like an eagle. Powered by the peace.
All right, so. All right, MC Love is officially started, y'all. Off to a rocky start, only because I haven't done this in a long time, so I'm just kind of like winging it. But I want to welcome who's ever watching on MC Love right now, or my personal page. I don't know how this is being broadcast. I want to say through MC Love. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for continuously supporting me, following me, sharing all the videos and stuff I've done. And happy, blessed New Year to you all. So let's get these miles, not just on the road, but let's get these miles in and doing something positive and inspirational to those that are around us that can benefit from our wisdom, our experiences, and our knowledge. So, MC Love has been, you guys know, this has been my baby for the longest time. But I've gone through 2 different radio stations, and now I'm going to venture and build a MC Love studio. That's right. So in the coming years, preferably in the, yeah, let me say preferably in the next year or so. MC Love will have his own studio where I'll invite guests in, and I'll have a also internet radio station that will be attached to it, so it'll be able to reach people not just by visual but by the ears as well. So I guess you call it like a podcast. So if you would go ahead and start inviting people, those who are watching, and let's go ahead and really get this thing shared out, because I want people to be inspired by this. You know what I'm saying? Really, really do. Let's see. So what I am going to do in a few minutes, I think I'm going to go ahead and invite my guest. I have a guest that's on here. A lot of y'all know her because she's been all over social media, especially Facebook. She's been riding from state to state, city to city, and she goes by the name of the Mileage Bully. So I'm going to send her an invite. Matter of fact, I'm going to do that right now so we can see if we can get her in here. Let's see, add a viewer to be in your broadcast. I'm trying to add a viewer. It's not allowing me to add. What's going on? I can't add my viewer. I appreciate everybody who's watching, but I'm trying to get Mileage Bully. Hold on. Let me see if I can send an invite this way. Told y'all it's been a minute since I've done this. Because I really want to have a good conversation with her. Let's see. See if I can get her in here. All right, I just sent her an invite. Let's see how that works out. I'm going to invite some more people to try to watch as well. Well, I got 3 viewers. Hey, welcome y'all. I don't know who y'all are. Please leave your comment, leave something, let me know who is here so I can thank you guys. I want to go ahead and thank everybody who's been out here supporting MC Love for the longest. Start a watch party if you desire to. Trying to get my guest on here. Trying to get my guest on here and see if I can get her on here so we can Facebook Live. I can't invite viewer. How do I add? Okay. See, this is where I need y'all, because I haven't done this in a minute. So I know technology has changed a little bit. So it's not as easy as I thought it would be. A little disappointed, but hey, I'm not giving up hope. I am not giving up hope. Oh boy, this is not how I wanted to start the show. I wanted to start it off with a nice big bang. Y'all know what I mean? All right, so until I get some more hearts, some likes, some comments, so I know who's watching, Oh, she needs to make a comment. Well, I'm hoping somebody got to make a comment because I'm not seeing nothing right now. I'm not seeing any comments. Got people watching. Mr. Justified, you're calling in the middle of my broadcast. I can't answer right now. You're calling right in the middle of the broadcast, bruh. See if I can get her to show up. Hey, Miss Kennedy, what's going on? Okay, so she's got to make a comment on here first before I can invite her. All right. Well, somebody get Miss Mileage Bully on here so I can invite her on here. I thought I can just go ahead and type her name in and they'll send an invite, but guess I was wrong. Didn't know that. So, yeah, somebody, if y'all know Mileage Bully, please get her to come on here and type so I can invite her. I didn't know that's how it's supposed to be because I got a lot of questions. I want to get this thing started. And she's going to help me with that. Once again, Happy New Year. Happy blessed New Year's to everybody. 2021. See, you made it. So just don't give up on yourselves. Don't give up on the society or the world. Just continue to keep them lifted up in prayer and keep your positive spirit and inspirational spirits. Just keep it going and keep it flowing. They'll pass it on to others, okay? Once again, I ask that those who are watching, if you know Mileage Bully, please reach out to her right away and send her an invite in here so that she can make a comment, so that I can send her an invite. But she's got to, I'm not seeing, only person I see in here, okay, she's trying, but I'm not seeing nobody else's. Because everybody that's on here, please type in the comment section because I'm not seeing no comments from anybody outside of what I typed. It's not going like I expected, y'all. Somebody else just joined in. Oh, there she is. 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 Do I have her? Yes, I got her.
Okay.
My
I don't know.
Bully,
Yes.
how are you?
I'm fine. Can you see me okay?
I see you very well, yes.
I've been trying to join for like the last 5 minutes and I was like hitting the button and it was like nothing was happening.
I haven't done Facebook Live in a minute, and I see that the format of it has changed since the last time I did it. Because before you would send an invite, or you could type in their name while you're doing Facebook Live, and they get the invite, and then they come on in. It's changed a bit. It's changed a bit. How are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm doing well. Happy New Year, first of all. Happy New Year to you.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you as well.
And thank you for being a part of this platform called MC Love.
Yes. Happy to do it.
All right. So we're going to just go ahead and jump right into it since, it's been some delays of connecting with you and everything on my end. But let's just start with the name Mileage Bully. How'd you come up with the name Mileage Bully?
Okay, so I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, my sister and I were headed to Canada, to Nova Scotia. And when we got to the border, she said, we were cheering and joking around. And when we got to our hotel, I said, oh my God, sis, we're border bullies. That's what I said. And then, I don't know, kinda, we started riding again. And it's like the word mileage kind of just came into my spirit. And I said, from this day forward, I'm going to call myself the Mileage Bully. So I never used it from like 2017 until I took my tour, my first one. And so that name just stuck. And that's what people literally call me. Literally. They don't.
And you took those miles like a bully.
I did.
I met you through Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
and seeing a lot of your posts, and you inspired me because that's something I haven't done yet. I haven't ridden state to state lines or anything just yet.
Okay.
But it's very inspirational, and I know you're inspiring a lot of probably new riders that are out there. How does it feel to be like an icon or someone to look up to as an independent rider?
Well, thank you for the icon word. I appreciate that. I really, to be honest with you, I really wasn't sure what it was going to be when I started the journey. And when people say that they are inspired, or people say, "Oh my God, I follow you," or what have you, it makes me feel good to be that person, because riding is truly something that I love to do. It is my passion. And so, and not only that, I mean, I get paid to do it. I do it for a living also. So, I mean, that helps. So, I mean, when people say icon or people say the word legend to me, I'm always like, okay. I'm always very humble about that, because in my mind, all I'm doing is really just riding my motorcycle. That's really all I feel or felt like I was doing. So it's always appreciated. For me, anyway.
What made you want to ride the state lines? What gave you that drive to want to ride the state lines?
Well, I mean, I've been doing state line crossing for years. I mean, since maybe 2015 or so. And I've been doing it. So I guess for me, I've decided what type of rider that I wanted to be. So I'm a distance rider. I don't do well riding around town. I feel like I live in Virginia Beach. I live in Norfolk area, Hampton Roads. And I feel like everything here I've seen, everywhere here I've been. So, I live on the beach. I've been to the beach. How many times can you go to the beach in your area and ride the strip? So I started out with that, and then it just grew from there. And since then, I've crossed every state line in the United States except for Alaska. And unless they build the bridge to Hawaii, I haven't crossed that yet.
Awesome. So how many times have you gone, because you say you've been riding for a long time now.
Yes.
And how many times have you gone your distance from like coast to coast? Let's say just say coast to coast.
Two times. Two
times.
2 times. And I'm going to be doing it a third time in probably June or July, because on this last tour, my intent was to ride to Alaska from Seattle, because the second tour, I flew to Seattle to get the Busa that I have, the second one.
Right.
And I was intending to ride it to Alaska from there. Because of COVID, they had the Canadian border shutdown. So I wasn't able to cross over to Canada to get to Alaska. So it just doesn't sit well with me that I haven't done it, and I can't. So hopefully in June or July, because I'm a perfectionist and I'm hard on myself, I'm going to take another run across country to get Alaska.
Man,
so
that's awesome.
That will be my last one. I'm not doing any more.
So that'll be your last one?
It will be my last cross country trip.
3 times the charm, huh?
Yes.
Now,
So
when you were doing this, now you've gotten, I noticed that you've been picking up various bikes from various places, various locations, because you are starting, I guess, should I call it an academy, Bikers Academy?
Riding Academy, yes.
So talk about that a little bit.
Well, 5 years ago, I became a rider coach. I am an MSF certified, nationally certified rider coach. I'm an instructor. So for a living, I teach people to ride motorcycles. And I loved it enough that I said to myself, okay, I wouldn't mind doing this, having like my own space or my own place. So I was told at that time, a lot of people have tried this, it hasn't worked, and so forth. And the first thing that I did is say, okay, and bought my first bike about 6 months later. And every year after that, I bought maybe sometimes one, sometimes three, sometimes two to get there. So now I have a total of 16. And my academy is called the Moto Mob, or the Moto Mob Riding Academy. And it's set to open March 6th, 2021. It will be the only minority-owned, Black-owned riding academy in the state of Virginia. And I'm very proud of that, because that this is not something that we as a people readily do. So I'm very proud of that distinction that I have. There are only a handful around the country as well. So this is not something that people of color or Black folks per se, something that we readily embark upon, because one, the motorcycles that you have to have, the insurance, the coverage, the liability, so yeah, March 6th, 2021 is my grand opening here in Virginia, and I'm looking forward to that. The first class will be March 14th through the 15th also. And registration is open under themotomob.com.
You're going to repeat that a couple of times as we go through this show.
Yes.
I want you to know that. So have it handy and ready. And for
I
those
will.
of you all, who are watching, I want to thank you guys again for watching this very special MC Love of the 2021 with the Mileage Bully. Make sure you share this video, start a watch party, whatever you want to do, because I want to try to get this out, not just MC Love, but Moto Mob Riding Academy.
Yes.
Because it's Black owned. It's Black owned, and y'all know how I am when it comes to supporting our own, entrepreneurs. I try to support in every possible way I can. And speaking of support, when the academy opened up, I'd like to do a show down there at your facility. If that's, we can work out the details later.
Okay.
Would that be good?
Yes.
That's
yes.
awesome.
Right now, the hotel that I booked in my local area, I'm thinking, hey, I'm just going to do 10 rooms and call it a day. The lady called me 2 days later, or the manager called me 2 days later. She was like, we added 5 more because those rooms are sold out. And then she called me another 2 days later. She's like, well, we're just going to do 10 more. So yesterday, or Friday, she contacted me again to say, well, I think that we're going to just add a block of 20 more. So it went from just saying, hey, I want people to come out just to celebrate my opening, not my opening day, but just to celebrate with me the accomplishment, to it turned into a whole entire party, period. So people are literally coming from everywhere.
Wow.
Yes. So I'm very excited. I have some awesome special guests that are coming in, some surprise guests that are coming in, and I'm ready.
Oh, wow. Well, I know I want to be a part of that.
Yes.
That's a lot of people to interview, and that would be very special for me as a show host to do.
Okay.
So that would be something I would really be interested in, to see if I can
well, come on down.
Make that happen.
Okay.
So let's talk about you in the motorcycle community. As you've been riding state lines, I know you ran across some independent riders as well as
Sure.
motorcycle club members and riders.
Sure.
How have you been embraced by them?
Oh, big time. I 95, well, I'll say 99% of the people that I met on the road, they're friends with me on Facebook, and I talk to them on the regular. Um, Several of those people are booked to be here on March the 6th. A lot of people are flying in, riding in. So I haven't, it's for me, it's been nothing but love. From being independent. I think to me, no shade or whatever to clubs or MCs or whoever, but being an independent and being able to do what I do on a motorcycle, because it's just, and being embraced by people that are MCs and clubs, I think that's a wonderful thing. No one makes me feel like an outcast or an outlier because I don't have a patch. So the love that I've been shown across the board has been tremendous by everybody, and not only by my own people, by everybody, black, white, green, blue, it doesn't matter. So that I'm appreciative of too. So I really what's the phrase, bridged a lot of gaps in the motorcycle community as far as I'm concerned with people, because sometimes people think that when you're far away from home in Idaho or North Dakota or wherever, that because you don't see people that look like you, it's not a safe place to be, but it really is.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no problems. Yeah.
Now let's go back to being a riding instructor. How long have you been doing that?
I've been a rider coach since April 24th, 2016.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
So you got
So
some years up. You got some miles under your belt.
Yeah. So I've been riding though since 2007, but I didn't become an instructor until 2016. I didn't even know the official term of what I do is called a rider coach.
Rider coach.
I didn't even know it was a paid job until I saw someone else that looked like me doing it. And when I saw him, I walked over to ask him, what are you doing? You're like, what's happening here? He said, oh, I'm running this class for Harley Davidson. And I was like, is it a voluntary gig or what's happening here? And he said, no, it's a paid job and it pays well. And I came back home, I researched it and put in my application, got accepted, and the rest is history. I've been a coach since then.
Outstanding.
Yeah. There's two in the state of Virginia. We have only two. There are 391 instructors here. We have two women of color, me and another African-American female. She lives in right outside of Richmond.
Okay.
Two. Yeah. So I do want to bring attention to that as well, that this is a wonderful job to have, but it's hard. We are on our feet 5 hours. You're bending a lot. You're walking. You coach in the rain. You coach in the heat. Cold, very cold, but it's a rewarding job.
Wow.
It is. Yeah, and it pays well too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Might have a brother rethink his career move.
Exactly. There you go. There you go. I can tell you where to start looking. You're in Maryland. Give you the contact to start. Yeah.
Outstanding. So we've established that you've been riding for some years. You're now a riding coach. You've ridden your state lines twice. You're about to make the third one with the riding into Canada being your final one.
Riding to Alaska.
Alaska. I'm sorry, Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
Now, after you do those rides, that last ride, what else is on the horizon for Mileage Bully?
My ultimate goal, because to me at that point, I will feel like I have reached the pinnacle once I've done the last cross country tour, and I reached the pinnacle of what I feel like I should have done for me. I do this strictly because this is what I like to do. So more than likely, I'm going to dive more into franchising because my end goal is not just to have a writing academy. I want a writing academy franchise to where I'm in Florida, I'm in Maryland, I'm in DC, I'm in Texas. I want that for myself. So my own apparel, my own shirts, my own jackets, my own helmets, my own gear, that type stuff. So that's where I'm going to concentrate a lot on that. So that's where I want to be. I don't want to just, limit myself to having a writing academy. And not just that, I want to have a plaza to where, when you drive into a shopping center, you got all these choices. Well, when you drive into my plaza, the Moto Mob Plaza, you have in my plaza, in my place, I have people that change tires, that do oil changes. I have people who are mechanics there. My apparel is sold there. Stuff like that. So that's really what I want for myself, truly.
Outstanding.
Or at least that's my end goal.
All right, I hear you. So now we're gonna get a little personal now. So there's a lot of people that watching. Before I get to one of my personal questions, there's other questions that may be on other people's mind. For those of y'all who are watching on Facebook Live, type in your comments down there or questions that you may have to Mileage Bully. If you have a question for her that I have not asked yet, type it in there so we can get that question answered. If you have a question about her academy, the writing academy, her being a coach, if you are interested in becoming a writing coach, type in your questions in your comments down there so that I can read it off. I've got my phone, which is in front of me, and I got my laptop over here, which is not correlating. So I'm getting two different comments. I haven't received anything yet, but so one of my personal questions I'm going to ask you is, do you think because you are not just a female, but a Black female, do you think that has been a challenge for you as far as starting this writing academy?
At first it was because the people that were in charge at the top, they were kind of like a monopoly. So they controlled everything. So at first it was, but now, no, because the people that are there now, they want the same thing that I want, and they haven't caused me any issues. The challenge, I really haven't had any issues thus far, but to start with, I did. But the great thing, about me is I love God, and anybody that knows me knows that. And I feel like when He goes before you, it doesn't matter who's against you. And that's how I feel. So no challenges so far, other than just a lot of paperwork, a lot of time on it. But people standing in my way, no.
Awesome. Awesome. No. Let's see. What other question could I ask that people may be wondering? Is there a Mr. Mileage Bully?
No. I am single. Two singles. I do not have one of those.
Okay.
No, I do not. Nope.
With all your years of experience in writing, what has it taught you? What have you gained, or what have you learned from that?
What have I learned? What I've learned is, and I don't want anybody to take this as a negative comment, because this is a true story. What I've learned is there are a lot of people that have motorcycles, but a lot of people have no skill. It is okay, and it's very easy to ride in a straight line. But can you really ride your machine? Are you really good at riding it? Again, I got my license in 2007, endorsed, but I found out very quickly, especially when I got to instructor school, that I could ride. Yeah, I had 200,000 miles under my belt by that time, but I could only ride fast in a straight line. I didn't really have any skill. So what I learned is to hone your skills, because you never know when you're going to be in a situation that you need to use them. That's one of the biggest things that I've learned about myself and people just by being an instructor and watching people. Because, I mean, ultimately, I judge everybody.
You know, it's funny that you said that about your riding skills and everything.
Mm-hmm.
What's your opinion on a lot of these young guys that are out here riding, in my opinion, recklessly?
Well, I mean, eventually it's going to bite you in the butt. It really is. If you are riding on that type of level and you're riding recklessly, I mean, eventually, eventually that day is going to come that something is going to happen. Now, you can do everything right. I don't ride recklessly or crazy. Do I speed sometimes? Of course. I mean, I ride a Busa, for God's sake. But I do it. One of my mottos is there is a time and place for everything, right?
Right.
You can't do wheelies and ride crazy in rush hour traffic. There's a time and a place. If you want to do that, you need to do it in places that is safe to do it in. There's a time and a place. I encourage people to hone their skills, because again, if you are riding at 100 miles an hour, you need to be able to stop at 100 miles an hour also. And unfortunately, most people have no idea. Most people have no idea without ABS on their bike. They have no clue what to do if their back tire gets into a skid. They have no clue, or front tire skids, because they don't know. They don't do anything to hone what they've got. They just get on, go from point A to point B, and stop. And that's pretty much the gist of what they do.
Moose from Kingdom Knights Motorcycle Ministry, the vice president, Moose, he says keeping your skills up is key in this jam-packed area.
Yes, that is correct. Yes.
So
Hi, Moose.
I think he heard you. There were some other comments, but let me see. Hold on 1 second. Because there was another comment real quick. I think. Nope, that didn't show up. Okay, nope, that's the only one so far. So yeah, riding skill is definitely important.
Yes.
Would you say knowing now how many bikes do you have in your academy? Let me ask you that. You said you have, I think you said you had 16?
Yes, I just bought one, the 16th one on New Year's Day.
Now you plan on getting more, or is that enough for your academy?
I really wasn't even planning to get the last one, but I think I'm done with buying bikes. Now everything else is pretty much insurance and getting everything else that I need that takes effect on March the 1st. No more bikes, and they are all everywhere. Some of them are at my house. About 10 of them are at the bike shop. I've got about 4 of them in storage now left. One of them is in South Carolina that I got to go get, my very first one that I bought. So they're all over the place.
Now,
so, yeah.
they range from what type bikes do they range from the CCs to the names? What do they range from?
It's per MSF, which is Motorcycle Safety Foundation. You can only have a motorcycle on the range that is 125 cc to 500 cc. So I have at least 2 motorcycles of every type, which is 3. There are 3 types of motorcycles, which is standard, off-road, and sport. I have 1 of each. Well, at least 2 of each one of those. What they are, I've got 2 Buell Blasts. I've got a CRF 150. I've got a Tao Hellcat 125. I've got a DZ 225. A Suzuki Eliminator 125. I just bought the bike that I just bought New Year's Day was a Suzuki 250. I've got a Kawasaki Ninja 500. Oh Lord, I done ran out, but I've got a variety of everything that you could think of.
So you got something for pretty much every skill set of individuals that come.
Well, not skill set, because everybody that comes, 90% of the people that come to the class have never even started a motorcycle. So it's not the skill set. I mean, literally, never started a motorcycle, never been on one, except for maybe on the back. So I've got a motorcycle because I have guys that come to the class, they'll say, I want to ride a sport bike. So I want to have a sport bike available for them to train on for the class. Then I've got people that say, you know, I only want to ride a dirt bike, or I want to ride one of the dirt bike on the street. So I have 2 of those. I only want to ride Harley. So I have that style of motorcycle. So I have one for different types of people, like what they want. Now, if like more than 4 people come to a class and all of them want to ride a sport bike, then somebody's out of luck because I only have 2. I only got 2 for them to choose from. So yes. So I have a motorcycle for every.
Choose carefully.
Yes, choose carefully. So yes, I have a motorcycle for every type of person that they can select from or choose from.
Let me read this real quick before it passes by. Moose says we took an advanced class, and I would make all the turns the teacher did when following. I could not do as good when not following. Why is that? I guess that's a question.
Okay, more than likely, if you are following someone, you are going to emulate what you see them do because you're behind them or you're looking straight at them. When you're doing something on your own, and when I release you and say, Moose, it's time for you to do what I just showed you on your own, that's a totally different story. And that's something that we run into, not just in the advanced classes too. We run into that in the beginner or the novice class per se. Students do that all the time. You can, think about it, if you're following a car somewhere, well, you don't need to do anything except for stay behind them. You don't need to worry about the directions unless you just get off track and you miss a red light and they get ahead of you. So when you're emulating someone and you following, of course, it's going to be easier. But when it's time for you to do it on your own, the difference is once you understand the concept of what you're doing, I think that's what makes it a lot easier. Because I'll be first to tell you, my right-hand turns in the beginning, they were horrible. Because if people don't know that, if you're right-handed, your right-hand turns are going to be terrible because this is my strong side. I'm right-handed, and I'm going to do everything I can do to protect my strong side. Left-hand turns, super easy because this is my weak side. Easy for me to turn left. So that's pretty much the reason why people, when you're following someone and when it's time for you to do it on your own, to me, that's the difference. Emulation versus being able to do it solo on your own.
Okay. All right. Nice. Spoken like a true coach.
Yeah, I do this sometimes.
So, what made you first decide to even ride 2 wheels?
Well, and I hate to say this, most things with women, sometimes it starts with the man, right? So I dated a guy, he rode, and he had a bike and it had loud pipes, and I loved it. I was like, man, that's badass. Okay. So he thought that I should be what we call, I guess in the bike world, people call it backpack.
Backpacks.
And I was like, no, I come from rural North Carolina with a father who had me doing things that all the boys did and so forth. So I was like, I'm too much of a control freak for that, to ride on the back of a bike. So I begged for 2 years, buy me a bike, buy me a bike. That's begging started in like 2005. So finally, he bought one, and I went and took the class, and I was horrible. And it went from there. And from that point on, I've just stayed with it. So it came from him. And once I got over my first day on the street, I almost crashed, but I didn't let that bother me. So that was pretty much it. So it started with my ex, and I stay with it, and I love it. It's what I do.
How many accidents have you been involved in?
Me,
Yeah.
personally,
Yeah.
accidents? The mileage bully has never been involved in an accident.
Oh, awesome.
Not in 15 years.
Awesome.
No, let me knock on wood. And to God be the glory. I hope
To God be the glory.
To God be the glory. I hope I'm never involved. So I've never been involved in an accident. I've never been down. Never.
Outstanding.
Yes.
Any hiccups on your bikes as you've been going state lines?
The only hiccup that I had was when I was in Sheridan, Wyoming on my first tour. I had a blowout at about 100 miles an hour. My back tire exploded, and I was in the middle of nowhere, and I called a friend, and I was off the road in about 45 minutes. I ended up at a place called OMG Cycles in the middle of Sheridan, Wyoming. So the first thing that you think, I'm black, I'm out here, and oh my gosh, my tire goes out. They're getting ready to tow me to some shop that I'm sure the people there that don't look like me, right? We're gonna see how this is gonna go. But I got there. These people were the nicest people that you could ever think of. They had 4 lifts in this shop. They took one of the bikes down and put my bike up there immediately. And the guy was like, we don't have the tire for your bike here. We don't even see sport bikes out here. All we see is ATVs and cruisers. So I'm like, oh my gosh. He's like, okay, let me call around to see if I can find it. But anyway, he ended up finding it, and the tire was 60 miles away. This guy's name was Bob. He got on his Harley and he rode 60 miles to get it and brought it back with the tire over his body and brought it back to me, put it on my bike, took me to lunch while his technicians were putting it on there, and got me rolling. So that whole ordeal was maybe 2 hours, maybe 2.5.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
And as a matter of fact, he just called me like a week ago to wish me to wish me Merry Christmas. Yeah.
Nice.
Just to check on me. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, it
So
was.
bonds that you can make as you're
Oh,
out
yeah.
there on the on those miles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Truly.
And that's one of the reasons why, because my desire is to be part of the Kingdom Knights motorcycle ministry. I chose them because of the camaraderie we have, not just in ministry, but just as, plain old brothers and sisters who just enjoy each other and enjoy life. And nothing against the other ones, because, I have good relationships with them as well, motorcycle ministries as well as motorcycle clubs. But something about it's just something God's drawing me to them nights.
Okay.
And and I rode with them one time, Mileage Bully, and boy, they rode hard. They rode
Mm-hmm.
hard. Can you see the expression on my face?
Yes.
They rode hard. And I think I kept up with them. I think I did well. I don't want them to think that I gave up on still trying to be a knight. Just life happened and things just got in the way of me fulfilling that obligation that I wanted to do with them. So prayerfully in the 2021 season, things will be better and I can get out there and I'll have
Okay.
the colors on. But it's for me, it's about, like you say, going out there and you meet people. You don't know how you're going to meet them, and you don't know how they're going to approach you or anything like
Mm-hmm.
that. But it's a good thing when you have that good spirit. I'm gonna call it that. I'm gonna call it what it is. What it is. When you have that good spirit, how
Mm-hmm.
things that are around you are not going to come down on you in a negative way. So
Correct.
that's a good riding story right there. That's real good.
Oh yeah. Well, my first tour was great. It was. And I met people from everywhere. But my second tour, I don't know where, if you were, how often you were following, but there were literally state to state handoffs. I would get to one state, the next state would meet me, and then the next state and the next state. And I was in Jackson, Mississippi, and a guy came and he said, "Hey, I wanted to come out. I had to meet you. I've been following you since you were in Phoenix." He said, "I've been riding for 25 years. He said, I've never seen a state-to-state handoff like this. Who are you?" And I'm like, "Nobody. I'm just riding." He said, "Well, how are you getting the people to ride with you?" I'm like, "I just say, I'm here and I'm going there." He's like, "That's it?" I'm like, "That's it." Yeah, that's all I do. I mean, these are total strangers. So, and every one of those people I'm friends with on Facebook, and I talk to in some capacity. And so,
Were you friends with them on Facebook before your tour or
no,
during your tour?
during, like,
Wow.
while I'm out there, they send me a friend request or whatever, or they're in the group that meets me at the state line, and we just ride together. So from my second tour, I'll just give an example. When I got to California, I rode the PCH highway. I was alone in California the second time, not the first. Then when I got to San Diego, several people, no one rode with me in San Diego, but there were like people that came out. They brought me food. They came and hung out with me at my hotel. And then I went to Phoenix. Well, when I got to Phoenix, there was a lady, her name was Teresa. She met me like within 10 minutes of getting to my hotel. She was there. And then about 15 people from Phoenix showed up, like 3 hours later, literally. And that's how it was from Phoenix. Where I go, I went to New Mexico. And the Buffalo Soldiers, I wasn't even there in the town 10 minutes in Las Cruces, New Mexico. And one of the guys saw something that I posted. "Hey, I'm headed to New Mexico." He reached out in a message and had a guy at my hotel in 10 minutes. And from there to San Antonio, there was another set of people that came. So it was like that my whole entire tour until I got home. And then when I crossed over to the Virginia state line, there were probably 300 bikes there waiting.
From your first tour to the second tour, how long of a break did you take?
8 months.
8 months.
8 months.
Was that long enough? I mean,
I wasn't intending to do a second tour, to be honest with you. I had no intentions of going back across the country. But because of COVID, I was at home. We weren't working because I'm an instructor for the Navy. and we weren't working. I was bored at home, of course, working on my business. But I was like, okay. So then the guy that I bought the Busa from, he almost gave me the motorcycle for free. He was like, I want to sell it, but I only want you to have it. I'm like, but I don't need another Busa. He was like, well, don't you want to ride to Alaska? And I was like, yeah. So needless to say, I flew out there and got it from him. So it was 8 months. So again, I wasn't intending to do another tour. It was just because I got such a good deal, and with the opportunity to ride to Alaska so close, that's how I ended up with 2 Busas. Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, Moose wanted to correct, well, he didn't correct me, but he wanted to add on. He said the ride wasn't that bad. It's just that it was new to me, which was true. The ride was, I enjoyed, I mean, it wasn't a real long ride. You know, we went from Maryland to, I think it was Richmond. And, you know, it was nice. I just enjoy myself riding. I just enjoy riding with them. I do.
Okay.
But that was my first time riding to that capacity and that hard with them. And old boy's heart was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And I did it.
Okay. Are you ready to do it again?
Well, yes, I really want to do it again. I got to, you know, my wife and I are trying to get a house right now. So, because I desire to get another bike, one with a bigger tank on it. It's my desire. But, you know, after we get this house and kind of like get settled down by next year, the following year, I think that's what I want to do. Until then, I'm going to try to keep Pepper going until that time comes. But yes, I would definitely do it again with these guys, because they look out for each other. Everybody on the motorcycle community, they always look out for each other, whether they're in your club or not. There's something about that bond on those 2 wheels, regardless of what color you are.
That's correct.
What you look like is all. There's a nice camaraderie and a bond that is so. That's how us church folks should be. You know what I'm saying? Always looking out after each other, lifting each other up, motivating each other, and inspiring each other.
Yeah.
And I find that just so what's the word I'm looking for? It's like taking a nice a sniff of breath air, fresh air, you know. It's just that good.
Yes, it is. I feel the same way. I don't think that there's any other unit or group or club or organization on the planet that is tight knit as the motorcycle clubs or set or people who ride. When you ride, you are immediate brother or sister. I mean, even you've seen it. You pull up, you're alone. You pull up to the gas station, you see a guy on a bike, you're instantly drawn to him immediately. Yep. It doesn't matter. Oh man, I like your rims, or I like what kind of tires are those, or what type of pipe is that? It is the most exclusive club on the planet. And I always feel like when I'm out there riding that I always tell people, when you are out there, both of my tours were solo. My family was like, are you freaking kidding me? Are you crazy? Why are you going by yourself? But when you're a biker, to me, you're never really by yourself out there. Not at all. Because I've never felt like I was by myself.
Let's talk about real quick, because I'm running out of time. I try to keep my show in an hour. Okay. Let's talk real quick about your, I don't know if it was a weekend or what it was, with the Sisters That Ride Harleys. How was that?
Oh my gosh. Let me tell you, this is going to be a good year too, because when something positive starts off, like this interview, positive to me, last year, 2020, I'm minding my business in Merle, who is my girl, contacts me on Facebook Messenger. She's like, hey, can you, we would like to give, honor you and give you to recognize you for your tour or for your accomplishments in motorcycling. So I'm thinking, well, I don't ride a Harley. She's like, girl, I know you don't ride a Harley. I'm like, okay. Because I'm thinking, I guess it's just for people that ride Harley. So anyway, I go up there, and let me tell you, I stay at Miss Burrow's house, and the sisters come out, and people that wanted to meet me come out. These ladies they treated me like they knew me my whole life. I stayed at her house and went to an event the next day, and it was just like, literally, they're really my family, like right now. Like at least once a week, I say, me and I call Merle Ma. We talk all the time, text, inbox, Facebook. I have a good relationship with them. They are a wonderful group of women, and they are people, women that I would strive to emulate, and who will be here on March the 6th, of course.
Well, I will definitely do my best to be down there and be a part of that. I've interviewed with them before.
Oh, they're awesome.
I did that, and they are a lovely bunch of women.
Yes.
Funny, funny, and just good spirited individuals. So once again, give the location of Moto Mob Riding Academy.
Yes.
And give the information out real quick again. And
okay.
Then when you finish, go to either my MC Love page or my personal page and type in your information in there too, so people can know. And I'll continue to share everything that I see from you. I always try to make sure I share it. So go for it.
Well, the Moto Mob Riding Academy will be opening in Franklin, Virginia. The address is 100 North College Drive, Franklin, Virginia. The website to book classes is themotomob.com. And that's where you can sign up for classes. The classes are Saturday, Sunday, 7 to 4 or 8 to 5. And of course, I welcome my new students, visitors, people who want to stop by. And I have a grand opening on March the 6th. And there's no classes that day, but there's DJ, food, games, things like that.
Awesome.
Yes.
Well, Mileage Bully, it has been an honor. It has been a pleasure. And I thank you for helping me bring in 2021 in this most positive, fun fashion right here on MC Love. I thank you. May
My
God
pleasure.
continue to bless you, open up those doors, continue to show you favor and blessings on top of blessings on top of blessings. So
yes.
keep making your posts, keep making your comments, and I will continue to follow you. However, how can people reach you and follow you as well? I know Facebook. What about other social media?
You can follow me at The Mileage Bully on Instagram. You can follow me at The Mileage Bully on my business page. You can follow me on my YouTube channel by just typing in The Mileage Bully. I have a YouTube channel. And my personal page, you can follow me, Shaquila Bussey, and you don't even have to be my friend. If you just type in my name, you can follow. My page is open. You can follow me there.
Awesome. Well, I thank you again. Have a blessed one. And be talking to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. All right, y'all. So that's it. I've had a great time here. And remember, it's always good to know your riding skill set and everything like that. So just continue to do the best you can do as you get out there on those streets. And always, I gotta say this, even though I'm not at the radio in the studio or anything, but I gotta say this. Make sure you pray before you get on your bike, and pray while you're on your bike, and pray when you get off your bike. Remember,
We want to make sure those wheels stay down and that you make sure you get home safely. All your drivers out there who are on driving, make sure you keep your eyes open and your ears open for those who are on two wheels. We want to make sure that those brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers, aunts and uncles, make sure that they get home safe and sound. So having that being said, y'all burn rubber, not your soul. It's DJ FX. I'm out.